Welcome everyone back to Weekly Weather Updates, and this afternoon we're going to have a look at the latest from the GFS, the GEM, the ECMWF and the UKMO Run at the heatwave we're going to be seeing next week. Now it's pretty much concrete now that we're going to be seeing some very warm weather early next week, with many areas seeing temperatures getting up into the mid to high 20s, surpassing what most people saw in August, as summer has its last hurrah as we enter into meteorological autumn. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and do remember to follow on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. You can see at the moment we do have the block over the top of the UK at the moment. Now it is weakening and it moves away, but it's still got a lot of trapped cloud under it. So we have had pretty miserable conditions with thick cloud, a bit of drizzly rain, feeling a little bit miserable, to be honest. However, this low pressure out in the Atlantic is putting resistance on this high pressure, which is trying to stay in control. And this low pressure, because the block is pushing it away, this low pressure dives southwards. But as it does that, it draws up air all the way from Spain. So as we head to Monday, you can see there's really quite hot air coming out of Spain and North Africa. About 15 degrees at 850 HPA we're seeing here. Pretty much the hottest you can see for our latitude, pretty much anywhere really in the northern hemisphere at the moment. Or by Monday, you can see the really quite hot air reaching the southern parts of the United Kingdom, getting 15, 16, if not higher degrees, 850 HPA, which would give temperatures probably in peak summer, July, of in excess of 30 degrees. But because we are heading to September, temperatures will be a bit lower because the sun isn't quite as strong, and we have less daylight hours, of course, as well. So it does mean temperatures will be a couple of degrees below than what we would see in July, but it would still give temperatures in the mid to high 20s, widely 25, 26, if not 27 or 28 degrees in the south, where we do have these warmer upper air temperatures. It does eventually get swept away by low pressure by sort of Thursday time. However, you can see, if we go back to the European outlook, it's a bit of a messy sweep away by this low pressure. Not a clean break. And what that does mean is we could get quite a lot of hot air trapped underneath, while we do have some instability building. And now we'll show in the sort of precipitation models in a minute, there is signs we could be seeing some heavy showers and potentially some thunderstorms as we head into the middle of next week. Now I don't want to go into too much detail in this video, as I do want to just have a look at the heat, and because any thunderstorm activity is going to be highly variable within the models over the next few days, until we probably get to the end of the weekend towards Monday, where we start to see it come out a bit more consistency in the models. So we won't look at it in detail today, but we'll just have a look at some of the potential that's there. But you can see low pressure doesn't move through by the end of next week. We do have sort of a mixed bag. We've got a bit of low pressure, but high pressure trying to build back in. Really just in between weather systems. Could be showery, but at times could still be pretty decent. And you can see right towards the longer term, we do have westerly winds trying to break in. But we are seeing a signal potentially within this GFS run of high pressure trying to build up back from the south and from Europe. Potentially bringing more warm air in and a more drier settled spell, because this heat wave we're going to be seeing next week, there will be a few showers at times as we do have low pressure nearby. So it's not going to be wall-to-wall sunshine for all. For some it may be, but not for all. Whereas with a scenario like this we're seeing right towards the end of the GFS run, with high pressure over the top of the UK with warm air underneath, this would give temperatures again into the mid-20s, and would be clear skies for all. So it does look like we could be setting up some very warm air warm temperatures next week. Then it goes a little bit more unsettled before we do start to potentially see high pressure try and build back in. But it is right in the longer term, so I wouldn't really take anything beyond day 10 too reliably at this stage. If we do have a look at the latest GFS max temperatures, which will give us a good insight of what we could be seeing next week, we can see for Saturday afternoon, temperatures 21, 22 degrees in the south, potentially pretty decent when we do see some cloud breaks. For Sunday, we're seeing temperatures 23, 24, 25 degrees, some warmness starting to waft up from the south, and widely it's getting up into the 20s, even on the east coast where it's been pretty miserable recently. by Monday, you can see temperatures really climbing. 26, 27 degrees quite widely across England, Wales, even to the southwest. Widely 23, 24 in Ireland. Across northern England and Scotland, a little bit cooler, but that's because the warmer hasn't quite reached there yet. But it still would be fairly pleasant, better than we have seen this week. Tuesday, potentially the peak of the temperatures, maybe 27, 28, maybe 29 degrees in a few spots, and widely low 20s. As we head all the way to Wednesday, you can see the heat is predominantly now in the east as low pressure is trying to sweep through, and where we see in this boundary between the warm hot air in the east and cooler air coming in from the southwest, that's where we could see some thunderstorms that start to take off, and we'll have a look at that, just look at some of those hints in a minute. And then by Thursday, most of that warmth is pretty much swept away. Still maybe 22, 23 degrees as we do a bit of residual heat around, but nothing exceptional. And then it does go into sort of low 20s potentially for the foreseeable future, all the way to day 10 before we get into the unreliable time frame. So we do have a look at the precipitation rate. You can see at the moment a few showers in the east, maybe a few showers in the south. And then by Sunday evening into Monday, we do have some low pressure. That low pressure trying to push in. It does have precipitation along with it. So we're going to see potentially a bit of precipitation in the north, but it is going to fizzle away as we head through to Monday morning. And widely things can be dry for most of Monday afternoon. Pretty much through Tuesday as well, really quite dry, and that's why Tuesday is probably going to be the peak of the temperatures as well. But by Wednesday, you can start to see the shower and thunderstorm risk take off as the low pressure sweeps in, and in this scenario, we see a lot more showers around. Even though temperatures can still be reasonably high, maybe low 20s, we are starting to see some thunderstorm risk with that. So we've got to keep an eye on that in the longer term, but at this stage, I wouldn't worry too much with that, as that is still subject to quite a lot of change. If we do have a look at the GM run, you can see at the moment we've got the high pressure block over the top of the UK. Low pressure is starting to push in, and then we pull up that really quite warm air up from the south. You can see 15-degree isotherm getting into the UK, 20-degree isotherm getting into central parts of France. Really quite hot. If we go to the United Kingdom, look, you can see spreading all the way into Scotland, getting that 14-degree isotherm up, and widely 14, 15-degree isotherm pretty much covers most of England, Wales, Southern Ireland, into parts of southern Scotland as well. So very, very warm indeed. It does get swept away, of course, through Thursday. Starting sort of Wednesday afternoon, we still have some heat around by Wednesday afternoon, but it's getting slowly swept away. And by Thursday, most areas are back into cooler Atlantic air, and you can see all the way into the longer term, we do have westerly winds with low pressure taking control. So yeah, definitely on the GM in the longer term, doesn't look like low pressure is going to be taking control. No signs of that Euro high trying to build up, but as I said, that is in the uncertain time frame, so we have to take that all with a pinch of salt. So if we do have a look at the GM, at the temperatures, you can see Saturday afternoon, potentially 21, 22 degrees, similar to the GFS. Sunday afternoon, maybe getting up by a couple of degrees, 23, 24 degrees potentially. And then by Monday, widely in England, Wales, low to mid-20s, potentially 25, 26 in a few spots. Further north, maybe getting to 20 degrees. And then by Tuesday, which is probably going to be the peak of the temperatures, maybe 26, 27 degrees in the south. You can see just across the channel to northern France, seeing 30 degrees. So you can see we are very, very close to that really quite hot air. And I wouldn't rule out an odd 30 degrees in the south, potentially on Tuesday as well. Further northward, still low 20s, around 20 degrees here or there. But less cloud, feeling quite pleasant around. Maybe a few showers, but still feeling a lot better than what we've had recently. By Wednesday afternoon, you can see temperatures getting up to around 26, 27 degrees potentially, maybe 28 in the far southeast, but you can see that hot air is getting swept away with cooler air coming in from the southwest. And by Thursday afternoon, all are in that fresher air with temperatures peaking maybe 22, 23 degrees in the east. If we do have a look at the precipitation signal, a few showers around this weekend, and then we have that rain sweeping through early Monday morning, clearing most areas. By Monday afternoon, maybe some drizzly or lighter showers in Scotland, but nothing too substantial. Tuesday, of course, is looking like the best day with very minimal rain. But by Wednesday into the afternoon, potentially seeing thunderstorms take off. And even by Thursday, again, more showers and thunderstorms taking off. So it definitely does look like Wednesday maybe still hot in a few areas. But for the west, we could start to see those showers and thunderstorms start to take off. If we do have a look at the ECMWF, see how that compares, you can see that low pressure dies southwards, bringing up that very hot air from the south, seeing 15-degree isotherms sweep through the country before low pressure takes back control by the end of next week, and that would be going pretty unsettled. And you can see a very deep low, which is remnants of a hurricane out in the Atlantic, heading towards the UK, potentially could turn it a little bit stormy, and that's one thing we have to watch towards day 10, what's going to be happening with these Atlantic systems. But at least the next sort of 7 days is looking fairly decent, with very warm weather starting this weekend, especially in the south, heading all the way to Wednesday, Thursday, before we start to see a thundery breakdown. I know some people will enjoy some thunderstorms potentially. If we do have a look at the GFS Ensembles, you can see that massive rise in temperatures over the next few days, peaking around the 7th, 8th of September, i.e. sort of Tuesday, Wednesday next week, around 14, 15, maybe even 16, and a couple going up towards 18 degrees at 850 HPA. You can see there is some precipitation signals around, so it could be some thunderstorm showers around, and of course when those temperatures drop there is more precipitation signs as well. And you can see in the longer term a lot of volatility within the ensembles. Mean is around to above average, but you can see many going well below, many going well above, and quite a lot of precipitation signals. So it does look like low pressure is definitely going to be breaking through around the 9th, 10th, 11th of September after this heat wave, this like 3 or 4 day heat wave that is coming next week. So yeah, does look decent over the next sort of week or so. Then it does look all up in the air again, with not too many signals at this stage. If we do have a look at the mean sea level pressure, you can see generally over the next 4 or 5 days, although that low pressure is starting to push in from the southwest, we do generally have higher pressure, around 1,020 millibars, maybe a touch higher. By the 8th, 9th, 10th September, you see pressure drop to around 1,010 millibars, so low pressure moving in, and then beyond that, really no massive signal at this stage. Some going for higher pressure once again, others going for quite deep low pressure, and we'll just have to keep an eye on what happens with the models. If we do finally have a look at the UK Met Office run at temperatures and precipitation. So we do go through, have a look at Saturday afternoon. You can see temperatures are going to be peaking around 21, 22 degrees, very similar to the GFS and the GEM. Maybe a bit cooler in the north still, but we may have some lingering cloud around 15, 16, 17 degrees. By Sunday afternoon, we're seeing temperatures rise 24, 25 degrees potentially in the south, feeling pretty decent. Widely 20 degrees in many areas as well. By Monday, we're seeing temperatures rise to 28 degrees, potentially in the London area, but widely mid-20s, and even Scotland getting around 20 degrees, and even Ireland 23, 24 degrees, which is very warm for this time of year. And finally, if we get to Tuesday, see temperatures peaking around 29 degrees, and I wouldn't rule out potentially a 30 degrees within there in the Midlands, and widely mid to low 20s as well. Even in Scotland, seeing 23, 24 degrees, and across even to the northern coast of Scotland, seeing 20 degrees. So feeling and looking very, very warm and pleasant for next week. So I really hope you can go out and enjoy it, as this may be summer's last hurrah. If we do have a look at precipitation, you see minimal precipitation over the next day or so. Few showers coming in off that easterly wind, but by Saturday afternoon, very minimal. You do see the heavier rain moving in through early hours on Monday, but really dissipating as we head into daylight time through Monday morning. Few showers, and then you do start to see the hints of some showers and thunderstorms moving in from the southwest by early on Wednesday morning. And we'll have to see how that does play out beyond that. And we'll probably have a look at that thunderstorm risk in a little bit more detail over the weekend into early next week. So it is definitely looking like it's going to be a very warm period of weather, a good 3 or 4 day heat wave for many coming. So do go out there and enjoy it. As I said, this could be the last time we see temperatures getting up into mid-high 20s, maybe until sort of next spring, next summertime, so next maybe like April, May, June. I can't believe it, but it could be another sort of 6 months, 6, 7, 8 months until we see temperatures this high, as we are on the slow descent now into autumn, and eventually we will be into winter. So do make sure you go out and enjoy it. And as I said, it could be the last time we get to see really nice, pleasant conditions. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.